Hey there, welcome to Athlete Unscripted with Sidney Deb. And I just want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you for being here, for pressing play, and for taking a few minutes out of your day to come join this space with me. I don't take your time lightly. I know our lives get busy, which is why in this podcast, I'm not telling you about stats or scores. I'm sitting down with athletes in real time to pull back the curtain and show you who they are and what their lives look like outside of their sport. I'm here to give you an inside look on what happens behind the scenes. Whether you're an athlete, a sports fan, or someone who just wants to understand what it really takes, you're in the right place. These are the raw conversations, the unfiltered moments, and the stories that remind us athletes are human first. Welcome to the conversation. This is Athlete Unscripted with me, Sidney Deb, and it starts right now. This episode is brought to you by Miranda Construction, the trusted name in building Louisville's future. With deep Kentucky roots and a reputation for excellence, Miranda Construction is a proud Louisville-based company, building spaces that move our city forward. From custom homes and commercial spaces to innovative renovations, they bring unmatched quality, transparency, and craftsmanship to every project. They're not just building buildings, they're building community. So whether you're planning your dream home, expanding your business, or starting something new, trust the team that's built on integrity at Miranda Construction. Visit mirandaconstruction.com. Miranda Construction's built on integrity, powered by vision. Welcome back to Athlete Unscripted. I'm your host, Sidney Depp, and today we are sitting down with offensive lineman, Louisville star, Pete Nygra. Pete, welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks. I'm so happy to have you. Okay, I want to start off by giving our viewers a little bit of insight about you. What's your journey looked like up to this point, being here at Louisville?
Yeah, so pretty typical, just high school recruiting. I actually didn't even want to go to play college football, believe it or not.
Really?
Dad's an Army vet, 10 years, so I was like, I'm going to go to the Army. Want to do that since I was in probably sophomore in high school. In a sophomore in high school, I got my first football scholarship to go to Division I. So I kind of knew, hey, path might change a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I ended up playing, obviously finishing high school, and then I actually committed to Northern Illinois out of high school. I was undersized lineman, 6'3", 245. So, got to college, beefed up, bulked up and everything, played 3 years there, loved my time. But at the end of my sophomore year, I knew it was kind of time to, do bigger things, explore more opportunities. So I hit the transfer portal, and then I went to Louisville. I already had a relationship with actually Jeff Brown before that. He recruited me when he was at Purdue, when I was in high school. So I knew of him and came on a visit here. It felt like the right place and committed. So yeah, I've been here ever since January of 2024. Played last year, had a great year, and then I was looking to do the same this year. So
I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. What's been your favorite moment as an offensive lineman so far here at Louisville?
I would just say just being around the guys. I mean, that's kind of what offensive line is, just having a good group of guys in the O-line room, practicing hard, playing hard, and then obviously having some fun outside of football as well, which we do a lot. Mm-hmm. So probably more than we should, but, got to have fun while playing college football. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's no other time in your life like being in college.
Exactly.
Truly.
Exactly.
So Coach Owens is obviously your position coach. He went to Louisville.
Yes, ma'am.
How cool is that to have someone that's mentoring you, that's leading you, being on the same field as you at one point in his life?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, he's a great coach, cares about this program, loves this program, gives us all for this program. So he expects us to do the same, obviously. Just having him in that room, someone who cares about the program, cares about the unit, it's everything.
Yeah. What's your all's relationship like?
We have a very close relationship. Yeah, very close relationship. I can go up to his office and talk to him about anything. 90% of the time it's going to be football stuff, but if I ever need to talk life or anything, he's always there to help us out. So it's very cool to have.
That's great to have a mentor like that. And then Coach Brom, you obviously mentioned you've had a relationship with him for a long time. What's it like now that you're here?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I always had, high school coaches, other coaches, praise highly, on his, the work he does as a head coach for college football. And now that I'm here, under his team, it's awesome. There's really no other place I'd rather be and want to play in this country.
So this upcoming season, we've got a new quarterback here, new other leader of the team, and we're obviously pushing for more every single year. We're reaching for more, and you guys are, thinking more wins, like 1% better every day in the weight room, in the meetings, in the practice. How does your all's relationships off the field translate to on the field and vice versa?
It's everything. Having relationships with these guys off the field, just becoming friends, buddies, being able to do stuff together, it just helps the on-field relationship, helps, each other hold each other accountable. I can get on Miller, he can get on me, we know it's out of respect, it's out of competition, it's out of love, so just building that relationship outside of the football stadium and the football fields, everything.
Yeah, and Miller to know that you've got him, you're going to block for him.
Yep.
That's important.
Yeah, I better, it's my job.
Yes.
So.
Got to get out there and do your job.
Yep.
What's clicking for this team right here? We just had the spring game. That's pretty much the closest thing we'll get until the fall of being able to see you guys in action on the field. But what's clicking? What's working for this team? What's the bond looking like?
To be honest, I think the bond's better this year than last year. Just the leaders have done a really good job of just integrating everyone, the new guys. Obviously, if the age of college football, you're going to have about 30, 40 new guys a year between freshmen and transfers. But, just the culture that we have here and the leadership we've had, able to get those guys into this culture and this program and just, get to work, become friends, hang out with each other, but obviously, when it's time to go lift weights, go practice, we're on it. So this bond we have on this team right now is really special, and I'm looking forward to keep growing it.
I love hearing that. That gets me pumped up. I mean, I was already pumped, but it's good hearing that from a leader because you have a different perspective of the team and what it's looking like. And you've been here around the program, around the coaches, and you're ready to go out there and win and be a unit. Yeah. So I want to shift gears here for a second. Talk a little bit about your lifestyle, what your life looks like outside of football. So you live a very, very scheduled out life with lifts, meetings, this, that, class. What do you enjoy doing outside of all of those things?
Yeah, so I'm a Midwest kid, grew up in Indiana, so shoot guns, fish, just hang with buddies, just kind of, your typical college activities, but, just kind of some Midwest flair to it, I'd say.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and you grew up in Indiana. Share a little bit about what that was like, what the culture is like, and how growing up in Indianapolis shaped you. Yep.
Like I said, just Midwest, it's very homey and everything, and it's hard work. I always say, the Midwest, you just got some gritty people that live there. They just put the hard hat on and go to work. So, just kind of, being raised in that environment and everything, and the way I was raised, by my parents and everything is just, hard work and, try your best and just try to enjoy every single day. Every day's a blessing. So.
That's a great mindset. So you mentioned your family. Obviously, the people around you growing up play a big role in your life and help shape you into who you are. Who would you say has had the biggest influence on your life?
Oh, that's easily my father. Just try to emulate him daily. Obviously, he was a great father, role model, teacher, leader to me. My whole life in every facet of my life. So I just really try to be like him.
Is there a specific memory or moment that you had with him that maybe you learned a lesson or was just a really good bonding moment for you all?
I really can't even think of one specific. I know there's a bunch in there and I can't really pinpoint one right now, but just, I guess honestly, I would say just like every Saturday morning growing up, in the summer and the fall and everything, just doing like yard work with him, just helping him, as much as I could since I was this tall and just, kind of that bond, learning a lot of stuff from him, just how to use like tools and everything, just kind of, do like man's work. Yeah. If you say, that was just like something I always enjoyed doing. And now that I look back on it, it was really special. I got to do with him. So
growing up, it's like follow the leader. Like
exactly.
He's modeling the man you want to become.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So I want to talk about Louisville a little bit. So you grew up not too far from here. Does that make it a little bit easier? I mean, there's guys on the team that have family out in California and all over the place, but you get to be pretty close to home. Is that nice having that accessibility?
It is. I always said I'm far away enough where I don't have to go home. I can kind of live my own life, but if I ever need to swing back for a day, I can. Even before NIU, I think I was 3.5 hours away. I'm like 2.5 now. So yeah, it's just a blessing being able to be this close to home, and my family, my parents and everything can make it out to all the games too, which is awesome.
Yeah. Having people in the stands that are there for you no matter what, it changes things.
Exactly. It does.
It does. So growing up, was football always your dream? I mean, I know you mentioned it really wasn't, but when did it shift for you that you were like, hey, maybe this is a dream that I have, or this is a new dream and I could do this at the next level?
Yeah. I mean, growing up when I was a kid, young, I always loved football, wanted to go play in the NFL and everything. And, kind of when I got to high school, like I said, my sophomore year. But before that, I was just kind of like, let me start looking at reality a little bit, what I really want to do with my life. And then once I got that first scholarship offer, everything changed. And in my mind, I'm like, well, I can go play 4 more years of football and get free school. So why not do that? Before NIL existed, before anyone knew anything about that, I was just, hey, I get my school paid for, go play more football. That sounds good to me. So just kind of like I talked about earlier, whenever I got that scholarship offer, it all changed.
What was your recruitment process like?
So it wasn't anything crazy. Like I said, I was an undersized lineman. I was like 6'3", 240, 245 come out of high school. So, we talked to a lot of these Power 5 schools, but didn't get any offers, just because of my size. A lot of MAC schools and everything, so did the whole recruiting trips, junior days, game day visits, all that, stuff that just,
drains you.
It drains you. You enjoy it in the moment, it's cool, but it drains you.
Yeah.
So just honestly, just your typical just high school recruitment, nothing special.
Yeah,
so.
And then coming to Louisville, how did you see Louisville prioritize you through getting you here?
Yep. I mean, I just knew that this was the place I wanted to be when I stepped foot on campus. I mean, the coaches wanted me here. Told me, what they were building and what we would have, obviously this past season and moving forward to this season. I had 2 years left when I hit the transfer portal. And honestly, just a relationship that I built with the coaches. I'm a big relationship guy. That's what matters in life. And, between Coach Owens, Coach Brom, the strength coaches and everything, I just felt like this was home, and it has been ever since I've been here.
And they talk about the importance of having that family-like environment in the locker room, in the practices that translates to the field when you're out there on Saturdays playing games.
Absolutely, yep.
What are you most looking forward to this upcoming season?
Just go play ball games with the boys. To be honest, just go play football. I mean, we have really fun games on the schedule, and we have a chance to do something special. I think everyone knows that. In here, I talk to Miller a lot. We're good buddies, and he's just like, let's just go win the ACC this year, man. I said, dude, sounds like a plan to me. Like, that sounds awesome. So really just trying to just take advantage of every day, but to get up to the season. But then once we get there, just to go win the ACC finally for this team, this program, this city, for the fans, for everyone. So
lots of excitement building toward this fall. But I want you to reflect for a second and think about what is something that you've learned since being in this program that you didn't know about yourself before?
Yeah, I would say there's more to life outside of football. When you first get into college football, as a young, eager 18-year-old kid, you want to just excel, impress the coaches, impress everyone. And, obviously that's important, but it's not the only thing in life. There's other things in life, your family, your relationships you have, your religion, hobbies and everything. Just kind of find that balance between football and life. Obviously still make this the number one priority and everything, and still put a lot of time and effort into this, but still going out and being able to enjoy life, enjoy the relationships that I talked about, you can make in this environment, and just not taking any day for granted, just taking every day as a blessing and live life to the fullest.
Great advice. How has the coaching and support staff here helped grow you both on and off the field? That once football's over, you'll still carry with you that growth. What have they taught you? What have you learned from them?
I've learned a lot. Probably the biggest thing I talk about is just like relationships, just knowing people, getting to know people. I mean, everyone kind of has a connection somewhere, right? So after football, you can take a connection and, they can help you 20 years down the road. And if you build that relationship here, they can still help you. Obviously, they develop you as the best football player, athlete, everything you can be, but off the field too, hey, adulting, right? College is that, that in-between stage between, being a kid and an adult. So they really do a good job here just preparing you for life after football.
That's great. I love that. What is one thing about you Card Nation can't look up? Get creative here.
Oh boy, I mean that could be scary.
Like a fun fact or a hobby, something you might be really good at that's a little bit unique, cooking.
I can't throw down the kitchen.
Okay.
I can throw down the kitchen. Cook pretty much everything. Come from an Italian background, so
Okay.
any pasta or
Homemade pasta?
homemade
Wow.
pasta. This is actually a good fun fact. Thank you.
Okay.
thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, my great grandma when I was young, my dad's grandmother, they were both from Italy. My great grandfather and great grandmother were in. Used to make this like homemade ravioli. Took like 3 days to make and everything, and just being around her, just cooking it and everything, and just kind of carried down like the family tree and everything. So, so I get down to the kitchen. I mean, I'm offensive lineman. Look at me, 310 pounds. So, I better be able to eat good food. So.
Well, there you go. What's your favorite meal to cook?
Probably like a pasta fagioli or something like that.
Wow, I don't think I've ever had anything like that. That's great. So pregame meal, what's your go-to?
I'm a big pasta guy, carb load, some protein like chicken breast or steak, and then just like some fruit, just for the sugars and everything. But
very balanced.
Yeah,
hit all the food groups.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Nothing crazy.
So good, so good. All right, last thing. If you could give a message to Card Nation, what would it be?
Obviously, we appreciate all your support and everything. Come out this year, support. It's going to be a great year. We're going to finally go do this thing, win the ACC, win a lot of games, have a lot of fun, have a lot of excitement, and we just always appreciate your support and everything you love for us. So thank you.
Awesome. That was great. Thank you, and good luck this season.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.